Talk- Welcome, everyone. We're going to give everyone just a second to get logged in. We are so excited today. We have a wonderful program, North Carolina College Connect, a wonderful new program. You're going to find out all about it today. And so as folks are coming in, I'll introduce myself. I'm Yvonne Brannon with Public Schools First NC, and I'm here today with my co-host, Dr. Shanika Moore Brown, the president of the North Carolina PTA. Our two organizations have been collaborating for several years now to make sure that we are getting out information to parents, to teachers, to administrators, to the community, and to our citizens, our voters, about the issues facing our public schools, as well as the wonderful things that our public schools are doing and our wonderful North Carolina Department of Public Instruction is doing to help our local school districts thrive and prosper. So in that vein today, we're very, very excited. And Shanika, if you don't mind, I would love it if you would please um, help us and introduce our guests, um, who are speaker today.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon and to be partnering with Public Schools First NC and also North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. And I have the pleasure of introducing Sneha Shah Coltrane, who is the Senior Director of the Office of Advanced Learning and Gifted Education and Academic Policy at the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. In her role, she collaborates with public school districts and charter schools, educators, policymakers, families, students, higher education institutions, and advocacy organizations such as Public Schools First NC and NCPTA to ensure that the advanced learning needs of our students in North Carolina are effectively addressed. And we thank her for how she serves as an agency lead for academic policy. She has more than 30 years of experience in public education. Wow. So impressive. Still doing the great work and has been dedicated to helping schools cultivate, recognize, and respond to exceptional and often untapped potential. She is a great advocate for advancing mindsets, policies, and practices that support all advanced learners. So you are in for a treat today. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Sneha Shah Coltrane. Sneha, it's all
Thank,
yours.
thank you so much. Thanks to NCPTA and Public Schools First. We're so grateful to have you all as partners. I bring you greetings from Superintendent Green, and with our entire goal of becoming best in the nation by 2030. So, one of the major new initiatives, I am getting my shared screen here. Here in North Carolina, is North Carolina College Connect. And with us online, we also have Dr. Erica Shoulders Roysters, who is with our team here at DPI. And we have Brittany Privet and Brenda Valdez from CFNC, who are in the chat to answer your questions. And so I want to thank their partnership as well, because this initiative truly is a statewide partnership. It is a partnership between CFNC and our NCSCA partners, but also all of our colleges and universities, both at our private colleges and universities, our public through the UNC system, as well as our community college. So this is a major initiative that we are so excited to share with you, some of our most important partners in this work as you've given us the honor of educating and working with your children. So we are so grateful. So what is North Carolina College Connect? Well, it is direct admissions to our North Carolina public high school students to colleges and universities. And you say, really? Is it really North Carolina College Connect? Is it really direct admissions? It sure is. A lot last year when we really kicked it off, people were saying, can this be real? Is this true? And it is. And it is just an incredible program that we want to make sure that you knew about for your children. So it is where eligible high school seniors, so if your child is a rising 12th or maybe one of our 13th graders from early colleges, they will receive direct admissions to colleges that match their student profile. The higher a student's GPA, the more colleges in which they will be admitted. And why we're reaching out to you is because we know the power of influence and we know the impact that each of you have. And I've had since they were little, and how your family has created these incredible opportunities and this incredible mindset to help your students thrive in our public schools. And so we wanted to make sure you knew exactly what this program was, so you can be there at home to cheer them on and tell your neighbors, tell your other PTA friends, tell people. Down the street, at the grocery store, at different faith organizations, wherever you are in your community, to help us spread the word. So we have students who are graduating with options for their future. And that is what we are here today to share with you. So when people say direct admissions, people feel like, have they lowered their standards? Absolutely not. This program is for admitting students who are ready for college. And for so long, we had this image that maybe it's only for the very, very elite colleges and those students who are at a level that is just, the top one or two in the class. No, what our North Carolina colleges and universities have said is we want you to come to our school. We want to continue to develop you and start where you are and help you get the skills, the understanding, to be the person in the career that you want to pursue as you graduate. So it's really about helping all of our students recognize that college can be for them. So our goal is to make sure they know they have this option. And then the other third goal was, how do we make college admissions a little easier? Those of us that have been part of the college admission process or is just starting, we know that it can be a little overwhelming. I've had two transition from high school to college in the last 4 years. And my goodness, that fall, there's a lot happening. And this program helps simplify that. So no letters of recommendation are needed, no essays, no list of activities. Yes, believe it or not, based on a student's GPA. And so all of this came together when we also noticed our colleges saying, hey, we want to capture more of our kids. And some of our kids don't see themselves as college ready. So this program is part of that solution, solution working with each of you. So last year, we had 62% of our seniors who were eligible, which is incredible. And so if you look at these numbers, we had so many students who got a letter and said, wow, I am directly admitted, and submitted forms and have accepted that direct admission offer. Here you see some students' messages about how they are just feeling so surprised and excited by this opportunity, but really how I love this first one. It made me feel much prouder in myself, realizing that, wow, I got into all of these already. And this notion of that I can do this, and that I didn't think some of my friends didn't think they could go to college, and now they see that they can. And that's what we want to do. So here you will see all of the colleges and universities who are part of this incredible program, okay, where they are going to look at your student's profile in our database, right, which Infinite Campus, our North Carolina SIS, we're going to look at GPA and to make sure your kids are on track to graduate. So if your kids are on track to graduate with a diploma, and have a certain GPA. The higher the GPA, the more schools they will have directly admitted to. The most amazing thing is that every student is going to be admitted to their local community college. And then based on your GPA, you will have additional colleges and universities on this list. So you see UNC system institutions, you see our North Carolina independent college universities, and then their local community college. It's remarkable. And this year we're so happy to have Queen's University of Charlotte coming into the fold, but from all the way from Murphy to Manteo, right? From the beach all the way to the mountains, from East Carolina to App, we have Western, we have Winston-Salem State University, and all in between coming. And the beauty is that it's also helping your children learn about all these other great colleges. We are so lucky in North Carolina to have A&T, Carolina State and Duke, right? And Davidson and Wake and some of the other really large schools, and some small. But what I love about this program is that it also opens up students' eyes to all of the other amazing colleges and universities. I personally know a student who is going to be going out of state, and they received this letter, got a scholarship, and is going to be staying in state, which is what we want our students to do is to continue. We want to invest in them, so they also invest in our great North Carolina. So now to the nitty gritty. It is for all North Carolina public high school students who have start at the beginning of the school year, and they are on track to graduate. Okay. And so if you're a senior, if your child's a senior, they will qualify. And they are fully enrolled. I think that's really important. And a high school, on track for a high school diploma. And so students with a 2.8 again or higher will get colleges of four-year universities, and then those that are lower will have their community college, but they will get a letter. They will get a letter in the mail as well as in their CFNC portal. So if they have a CFNC account, they're going to be able to log in and see their letter right there, and they're going to be able to claim their spot. Look, I got ahead of myself. So again, they will get this letter in the mail, and then again on nccollegeconnect.org or through their CFNC portal, they will also see this. The goal is that the portal will launch on September 15th. On September 15th. And they do need to claim their spot by January 8th. So that is the deadline to accept their direct admissions. Now, let's say your student misses the January 8th deadline. They are still welcome to apply to other colleges and universities the traditional route. Or let's say one of the colleges that they want is not on this list. Our colleges still have the traditional application available. This is just fast track. So we're going to go ahead and get you fast tracked in for these. And then there's the traditional application still available for our students and our families. So when they go to cfnc.org, nccollegeconnect.org, or their letter, they will have a QR code, and they will scan that QR code, and they will get into the portal, and they will start right there. They do not need to complete the residency determination form beforehand, but just know to get in-state tuition, doing the RDS right then and there is probably a great idea. So it's a very simple application. They will put their name in, they will put their contact information in, and they will fill out the simple College Connect profile. And then once they fill out their profile, they will then see the list of colleges and universities that they have been directly admitted to. And then they will click and they will decide where to submit that form to. The form they will fill out once and it will replicate. So they'll just have to fill out that once, but they will need to click on each individual university and college to accept that direct admission from them. And then they'll get a confirmation. That's it. Now, that confirmation, they will then need to follow any additional requirements. Like some colleges may have some additional questions. And so they're going to need to follow that email to finish any other additional information. But they will not have any essays. They will not have their list of activities to put in and no letters of recommendation. And so really it is a simplified, direct track. Fast track is a better way to say it, for direct admissions to our North Carolina colleges and universities. So we're often asked, will there be application fees? So for some, there will be. And so when you do submit, there may be an application fee. But however, if you have approved waivers such as College Board or the ACT fee waiver, the high school counselor will work with you to make sure that fee waiver is submitted. Now, we do encourage you to apply early in the process because there are lots of other steps, especially if you are planning on applying to specific programs or specific scholarships. It really does have its advantages to go ahead and apply early. If financial aid is a concern and you are not able to secure a waiver, then remember we have College Application Week, October 19th to the 25th, where some of these colleges will be participating and those fees will be waived. But I do encourage you to apply as early as possible so that you are able to get all that other stuff in line, whether it be a scholarship application, whether it be a musical audition that you need to submit for a particular major entry. So that's super important to remember. Okay, so here are your reminders for your students. One, once they have completed their application in College Connect, there's no need to submit another application. So they don't need to do the Common App and the College Connect app, or they don't need to go through CFNC for a different application. Their College Connect application is the application to that form is like an application to those schools, and it will be accepting those direct admissions. Then we want you to say, even though you're qualifying for these colleges and universities, please, we want to have you encourage your children to consider applying to other colleges and universities that may not be on that list through the cfnc.org based on their other priorities or their other interests. And then we want you to continue to use cfnc.org to explore financial support. Right now, there are so many financial aid opportunities and scholarships that we can let you know about even sooner than before. So that is really important to start researching that. And this process, having been started earlier than ever before, the good news is there is even more time to research and to apply for financial aid, complete your FAFSA, and make sure you have a clear plan for you, for your family and your child as they embark on this next opportunity. We wanted to share with you this incredible student. She's actually on the state superintendent's student advisory board from Guilford County. And she is talking about how she had all these schools. She had applied to 15 schools in one night. And had really thought she wanted to leave the state, go to Howard or Spelman. And then she realized that through North Carolina College Connect, she is attending North Carolina Central University as a full ride scholar, a Cheatham White scholar. It's an incredible opportunity that she had no idea about before College Connect. And that's what we want students to see are all the opportunities they have. So one for students that may already like this incredible Guilford County students see themselves as college going. And then we have heard from so many other students who really didn't know college was an option. And we want all of our students to know that we have North Carolina colleges and universities right here in our state, opening their arms and want to welcome you to come and learn with them in your next stage of life. So, how can you help? Um, we need your help. How can you help? I think some of the most amazing things is for you just is to share this great program. We've put a flyer into the chat. Please look at it, share it with your friends. If you are a leader in your PTA, please share about it at your fall PTA meeting. Put it on your Facebook. Please think about, okay, let me work with our school counselors. How do we get this? If you have any specific subgroups in your PTA, how do we get this word out? Because we want one for students to know all their options. And then we also want students and families who never thought college was an option to see that college is an option, whether it is to get a technical degree or a 4-year bachelor's. We have those options, and it is just going to take a click. And that's what we want to make sure. Any other ideas in the chat, maybe that you have of ways you think you can help spread this word? We'd love to see them in the chat. Shanika, do you see any in the chat? I don't know if we have any folks able
Yes,
to share
ma'am. I
their
see
ideas.
use Instagram was something that was shared.
Please do. Please do. Share far and wide, Insta and wherever else you have your clicks happening.
And we're going to drop it on the NCPTA side. We're going to drop it in our advocacy hub. So it's through Slack. And so that goes to the advocacy chairs across the state. So this is a great place to advocate. And then also, Yvonne says where the students are on social media. So
That is very
talk, all that
true.
great stuff. And Lynn asked, is there a social media campaign for this initiative?
So there is. We do have some social media out there. Our colleges and universities are doing it, as well as our districts. We have given them a toolkit, and as well as the department are sending things out. So slowly it will pick up more this fall, but I think DPI just had some out last week as well. And so we're going to continue it. We're actually making a video with some students this summer. So our goal is to get it out as across the state as much as we can.
Here's a question. What led DPI to get involved in this kind of program, and is this happening in any other states?
Sure. So it is happening in some other states. However, I will say, from what I have learned and our sector partners have learned, is that our state has rolled this out. In bigger and better ways than the other states, in the fact that every public high school student is now involved. In some other states, some high schools have opted in, some districts are opting in, but here in our state, we have several key pieces that help us to do that. One, we have great partnership between K-12 as well as our college partners. I've been meeting with them regularly, CFNC and so many others for decades. And so we have a great partnership here in North Carolina. The other piece is that we have state graduation requirements. Believe it or not, some other states do not have state graduation requirements. Because we have state graduation requirements that are aligned to UNC minimum course requirements, as well as many of our other private and independent colleges and universities, that allows that to be really clearly matched. And the students that have that fourth level math, which is so important for the 4 years, the GPA and that fourth level math, we are able to do that. The other piece that we are so very fortunate is that we do have a North Carolina SIS. We know we switched from Power School to Infinite Campus, but we do have that. And that is also another great thing. So the will and the way was there for the department alongside our colleges and universities to really make an incredible program happen so quickly here in North Carolina.
So I have another quick question. I guess we're taking a few questions now. We've kind of jumped ahead.
That's okay.
The question is there a portal or a place that is very user friendly for students who have to do a lot of these activities on their own? They don't have a lot of assistance
Mhm.
for applying. Is there a way that that students can access information and do a lot of this themselves with some advice?
Absolutely. So when they go to North nccollegeconnect.org, as long as they have a login, which if they don't, their counselors and school personnel will help them get a login. All of their information is right there. And so they will scan that QR code, go right there. We also have a help desk that will be there to answer questions. So it is definitely something they're able to do as they move forward.
And the other question was, once admissions is wonderful, this is great. Is there a way that once students are admitted, that your program will be helping them if they need financial aid?
Mhm. So our direct program won't be helping them yet. That is something we want to work on as we continue to grow the program. But the good news here in North Carolina is that we already have cfnc.org, and that
Could you tell us
platform.
what that those
Uh-huh.
initials mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that is where you can go to plan, apply, and pay for college. And so on that website, you will find incredible resources to help you understand the financial aspects of that. We also have two incredible scholarships here in our state that based on your income, you can know right away how much money you will automatically qualify for. And so that is also another way in North Carolina that we have been able to help our students. And that is North Carolina Next. Is that right, Brenda? If you don't mind.
Yeah, so we have
Scholarship.
the Next NC scholarship. Is that what
Yes.
you're? Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Next NC scholarship, essentially it's an opportunity for students who come from households making $80,000 or less to be eligible once they complete the FAFSA for just some funds to help them kind of cover some of those costs for college. So really the only requirement is completing the FAFSA and just meeting the eligibility requirements. But it's when we tell students, we always share um, really just completing the FAFSA is the most important part.
And the other, thank you so much, Brenda. And the other fantastic thing in our state is that our three promise colleges are actually part of College Connect. And so, and those colleges have that incredibly affordable rate by semester. I think it's what, $600 a semester, Brenda or
It
Bridget,
It's
Brittany.
about $500, and those four schools, I think, are Western Carolina, Fayetteville State, Elizabeth City State, and UNC Pembroke.
And those are all part of North Carolina College Connect. So there is lots of great opportunities out there to help figure that out. And the earlier our students accept this admission, the other piece is that our colleges and universities are going to be super helpful in helping our students figure that out as well.
One suggestion, I've got a couple of people who are texting me. I love technology. We've got chat, we've got text. And one of the text questions is, can you add this information about the opportunities for how to connect with money or scholarships and so forth at the end of your slideshow before we share it out?
We sure can. Absolutely.
Great. Any other questions? And I will share that these are go ahead. You've got your last slide.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let you all know that there are lots of people here who have partnered for this incredible program. As you can see, there are people who I have been mentioning throughout this. For students and parents, right here, this is going to be your best bet to get immediate support, either to your own high school, but then also to email this email address, questions at cfncresources.org. They have been developing, working with all of us to be able to be there to support you and to help you through this entire process. And again, we can't thank you enough. All of us in this space, our goal is that we really help you work with your children to ensure that their trajectory is where you want it to be, and that they graduate with options here in North Carolina.
This is wonderful information. One other quick question, which
Absolutely.
is in terms of this program, what are you had a slide earlier
Okay, I
showing
can.
one of the students, but could you tell us a little bit more about how the success rate, what's been going on between when you started this program and now? Are you seeing college acceptance rate improve for some of these places?
So we don't know just yet, because this last year was really one of our first big years, right? 2 years ago, we just soft launched it with just a few schools. So what we do know is that when you look at these numbers, we had 23,000 unique users last year. So 23,000 students accepted at least one, and clearly average of four direct admission offers. So now what we the colleges are doing are slowly watching those numbers, right? Where did you confirm attendance and enrolled? And now in the fall, where are our students showing up? And so we will have those numbers later in the school year for this past year. And so we're hopeful. But what I also know is now that this is our second year, I feel that the numbers will only continue to get better because students will now recognize, oh, as a ninth grader or a 10th grader, this is going to um, be there for me. And I think now that this has been repeated and is becoming more part of our school tapestry, we are just super excited for it. So we're hoping to see those numbers. But what we do know is from our anecdotes of our students, we are changing the mindset. And students who have never seen themselves as college going are thinking about it and applying. We also have seen that we have students choosing to stay here in North Carolina, and that's also a beautiful thing.
And the connection you have with the community colleges, that seems to be extremely beneficial, especially for students who perhaps aren't quite sure where they want to go, but they want to get started and get their foot in the door and kind of get their pre-college work done. How are you finding students reacting to that?
Well, this is the first year we've done that for all of our students. So we will see what we have heard from our school families, from our counselors. People have said this is going to change the ball game. Even though our North Carolina community colleges have always been open enrollment, again, so often our families and our students don't know that. And so getting a letter saying you've been accepted to Durham Tech, right? I've been accepted. And we want them to see that and to say, oh, wow. And that is the beauty of this next phase of this program, that I think is going to have an incredible impact.
Well, I can tell you that we have been sharing this information, just got started, and we're hearing remarkable responses. People are saying, "You're kidding me. This is crazy. I would have loved to have this." I will tell you, as the first person in my family to go to college, I was clueless. My parents did not go to college, they were clueless. If I would have gotten a letter in the mail saying that this door was open for me, my family would have thrown a pig picking. I mean, it would have been big, 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 big news in my family. And probably the fact that I did get help from a teacher to figure out how to get into college. Many of my cousins did not. And what a difference their lives and my lives have been. So this is remarkable. I commend you guys so much. I cannot think of anything that I've seen in the last couple of years that I am personally more excited over, and really proud that our North Carolina Department of Public Instruction and our superintendent, and all of you that work on his senior staff are working so hard for our children. Thank you.
You are absolutely welcome, and it truly is. Lots of us, I had Dr. Shoulders Royster and myself both say, God, if we had had this for our own kids, and that's what we want, right? We want students and families to see it, to then know that it's real, and to not be burdened by the process. And so this really helps so many of our students. We're going to have students that are still applying in the traditional route, right? And they may not, their favorite school where they see themselves may not be on this list. But we've also heard for those students that, oh my goodness, this helped the stress because I knew I had all of these. And like I said, I know several students that have chosen not to go to that school that they thought was that dream school. And they realized, wait a minute, this school, I loved being here. They went and visited it to a school that they may never had known about. And then they got offered money, right? Or they realized, hey, this actually is a better fit. And so that's our goal, right? Is to help show the greatness of our state, to help our colleges and universities get access and to work with our incredible students, and for our incredible students to see themselves in this next chapter after they graduate.
I don't know if there's any other questions in the chat, if anybody sees one, but I've got one more text question, and it was um, a comment and a question. The comment was, wow, this might help with senioritis. If you get a letter in September saying you've been accepted, you're going to have to work hard to stay accepted.
That's
So
right.
maybe this will help our teachers who teach seniors. And that's the comment. And then the question is, um, what what do you think that is there an opportunity for counselors to give feedback after the end of this year on ways that students used it, or parent suggestions? Or that was one of the things they asked. They suggested that we have some kind of survey of
Yep.
counselors in the schools and people who do this professionally to help kids get into college, to see if they have any suggestions.
Absolutely. We will definitely do that. Last year, we sent out a survey to anybody who came to our webinars. We were just kicking off. This year, Dr. Shoulders Royster actually has an advisory group of several lead counselors, and that is something that they've talked about, how to get feedback. And so that is something we will be doing. And if you have any feedback throughout it, please feel free, if you're an educator, to email us at nccollegeconnect@dpi.nc.gov. Families, I do think the other email, you'll get what you need a little faster. But for educators, feel free to come to me and Erica. We're happy to hear and to continue. We keep evolving, and we keep thinking of what else can we do. Um, But the good news here in North Carolina is we have so many pieces of the puzzle already. And so, how are we putting it together to help our students see their future potential?
Um, is there anyone else, before we move towards our little closing slides here, which I will do if I don't see any other? I will say to um, our our friends that uh, hold a second, let me get our next slide up. I want to just tell you something really quickly. Maybe I'll get our next slide up. Let's see. There it is. I want to tell you about two things that are coming up. One, next week on Monday. I hope that a lot of you will join us again. We're going to have a wonderful conversation with two attorneys who are also representatives in the Senate and the House on the constitutional amendments and what they mean for funding for our public schools. And the other thing that we're really excited about is that she'll be back. We have another webinar scheduled. This was really a rush job to get this one on the books. So at the end of school, we know it's rough time, school's out and so forth. And we didn't have a lot of time, but we're going to advertise this one now. It's going to be August the 13th. We're going to have it in the evening. So if you have friends, associates, contacts, join me and Shanika. We're going to be spending, getting this out starting now and to try to have a really, really good group here. And we're going to send it to, Shanika will be sending it to all the PTA presidents across the whole state, encouraging them to use it for a PTA meeting at the beginning of the year or something like that. We are going to take this webinar that's being recorded. We'll have it on YouTube. We're going to be sharing it everywhere we can. And we have the flyer that we're going to be sharing. Another suggestion that just came in, that was that these copies of this flyer be put in libraries, in our public libraries. So it's just a suggestion, but I think it's a good one. As we close up,
Love
we
that.
thank you, but also I wanted to let our PTA president have a few minutes to talk about connecting with her and things that she has coming up for us.
Excellent. Thank you again, Sneha and the DPI team and Yvonne for this wonderful information session. NCPTA is all in. You see that Yvonne has put all of our wonderful social media items up there. We're going to have to sunset the Twitter one and replace that with TikTok. So
Oh,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll, we'll give you that new
Give me a
information,
new
but we're
slide for August.
That's right. That's right. So, but we're very excited and we're just grateful that we wholeheartedly believe that it's our job as advocates to make every child's potential a reality. And this is a perfect example. Yvonne shared that Sneha will be back with us in August. And I will add that we also have talked about doing a monthly series with DPI. And we are excited about those other topics that will come. So stay tuned for more information on that. Also, as PTA leaders and members, you know that we are wrapping up our year. We have our final day of our virtual convention and EOY training this Saturday, June the 27th, from 10 to 2, and it is virtual. And then on next week, we have a family engagement webinar on June 30th that is focused on family engagement and access for rural communities. So thank you all so much for all that you do for the students, families, and educators across our state. And look forward to some great things happening with NCPTA starting July 1. We have a new president coming in. My term ends June 30th, but I will still be partnering with NCPTA and will always be NCPTA. So we will always have a partnership also with Public Schools First NC and DPI. So the work continues. The baton just passes to the new president. So thank you all so much for joining us today.
And in closing from Public Schools First, here's all these things. The most important thing I could say is if you do not get our newsletter, please sign up for our newsletter. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram, particularly and TikTok. We are dedicated to sharing information that would be meaningful to educators, administrators, parents, and students. And that is one of the reasons that we partner with NCPTA. They are the heartbeat of and throughout our state for our public schools, working closely to support teachers and students every day. And so please help us continue this good work. We are proud of the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. We're proud to work with them. And we look forward to another opportunity to discuss this again and anything new that happens over the summer on August the 13th. We will be sending out any of the links in here, and then we will send out the slide deck so that you can get the information and share it with others. And thank you. I hope you have a great summer. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's sign off and see you later.